Hello everyone, my name is Kadri Sarah. So I'm currently an intern with the Start Tech Academy, and I'm here to present an SQL analysis on the sports data set, which involves two tables: the match table and the delivery table. So we'll first of all look at our problem statement. Our problem statement. So we're to do an data, we have to do analysis, on the sports data for a client. We are given two data sets related to the Indian Premier League cricket match. One data set contains the ball by ball data and the other contains the match wise data. We have to import the data sets into an SQL database and perform the following tasks: create table, name matches, create table, delivery, import data from CSV for matches and delivery, and then there are about 10 different queries that we're supposed to run. So we'll go back to the database. I'm using the DB browser database, and before you can import or create a data, before you can import a table into this database, you have to create a database, a new database. So let me go back to the home page. I've brought in my table, but I will still show the steps in which I used to create the both tables on this SQLite, on this DB browser platform. So the first thing you do is you go to new database and then you create one. I have created mine, and as you can see, matches. I've created it, so I don't need to do it again. After that, you save. Then to import a table, you simply go to import and click on tables from CSV. Click on tables from CSV, and for tables, you look for your table. My table is under, I'll look for my table. As you can see, my table, you can see deliveries, you can see match, CSV. I simply have to open it. And after opening it, I select the first column because I want the first row to carry our column name. And then I simply click on OK. I'm not going to select OK because, like I said, I've already brought in my tables into this database. So I'll click on No. I do the same thing for my match. I go back to File, go to Import, look for my table, bring it in, click on, let me follow, look for my table, click on delivery of matches, and then click on Open, and then select the first row as column name and click on OK. So that's how I was able to bring in both of my tables. But before I continue, I will need to assign every column of my table to a specific data type. So after I've brought in my table, I will then left click and then click on modify table and select the different data types that I want for my table. As I'm selecting it, it's coming out here as an SQL syntax on that. You can see, you see all your selections will be available on there. Then after that, you simply click on OK. That's all. Under that same page, you can also select your foreign key and your primary key. As you can see, I selected my match ID as my primary key and my foreign key on the match table. I want the match ID of my delivery table to be my foreign key on the match table. And that was what I did here. Matches table. I want my match ID as foreign key on my matches table, and that's what I did. Then you just click on OK. So then the next thing is we have succeeded in answering the first 4 questions. We go to the 5th question, being to select the top 20 rows of the deliveries that table. So the first thing we'll do is to go to, let's first of all go to our table that we have brought in. Go to browse data. Under browse data, we can see the match ID, meaning number over number. All our columns are represented here. We go to our delivery table. Then make sure that all our columns are represented properly on this DB browser platform. After we have made sure that our columns are represented properly, and now we go to execute SQL to run queries so that we can answer the questions that we have on the ground. So the first question, select the top 20 rows of the delivery table. So the first thing I'm going to do is I will run this. I don't need to type because I've already put in the queries, so I will just be running them and then we will just be following through. First of all, select star because I'm selecting all my columns from deliveries and I'm limiting it to 20 because I want only the first 20 rows. That's the top 20 rows. So I will run this and it will give me the top 20 rows. I can as well go back to my browse data since I'm doing top 20 and look, compare, make sure that the 20 rows, and make sure that these rows correlate with the data, the columns that I have on my delivery table. So I go to my browse data and see the match ID of the first one is 335982, City Bangalore, the 12th number 336001 and City Chennai. I go to my execute this thing and then I see that it's the same thing. 333600001 Chennai. So we have succeeded in bringing out the top 20 rows of my delivery table. Another one is to select the top 20 rows of my match table. So I run this, select all from matches, limit it to 20. I run. And under that, I have, these are my top 20 rows for my match ID. Match table, from my match table. If I decide that I want to compare, I can go to my match table and scan through. My first match ID is 335982. My 20th is 335982. New number is 1. Let's see if there's any, okay. BB McCollum. So we'll go back and see what we got here. The same thing. 33598211 BB McCollum and then the same thing here. Yes, the same thing here. Okay, so I've done the. We will now go down to the 7th question. Fetch all data for matches that were played on 2nd of May 2013. So we will select all. from deliveries because it's the deliveries table that has the match date. Here the match date is 2/5/2013 because we are looking at the 2nd of May 2013. So I will run this. And you can see there are only 2 matches for that day. The match was between Chennai Super Kings and Kings and the Queen Warriors and Royal Challengers. Those were the only 2 matches that took place on the 2nd of May 2013, and the result matches are 15 and 17 respectively. So we will go to the next question. The fetch data of all the matches where the margin of victory is more than 100 runs. So I already have my syntax here. We're selecting all the matches. And we want the margin of, where the margin of victory is more than 100. We will use this. Guys, we will select distinct all from deliveries. I'm using deliveries again because that's where the result margin is, and here it is greater than 100. Margin of victory, result margin greater than 100. So we will run this, and we can see that we can as well, we can, let me order by, I'll order by result margin because we want to see the top most figures on top. That is the result margin with top most figures. We want to see them on top. So I will run this, and then when we go through, we will see that so order by result margin descending. Yes, you see that our result, yes, you can see that the highest one result margin that we have here is 146, and the match was between the Delhi Daredevils and Mumbai Indians. Then the lowest one, that is the one that the match result margin that is closer to 100, which is 102. The match, so the result margin was gotten with in the match between the Kolkata Knight Riders and the Mumbai Indians. So that is all about our 8th question. We will now go to the 9th question. The 9th question states that we should fetch data of all matches where the final score of both teams tied and order it in descending order of dates. So we're looking for matches with tie, order in descending order of dates. So I did select distinct all from deliveries, the join of matches on the match ID for deliveries equals to the match ID for matches. They are looking for the criteria where the victory result is equal to tie, and we I group by match ID, order by year. I use year as a date, and I'm limiting it to 10. So I will run this. I'm limiting to 10 because I want to see the 10. I want to see only 10, the 10 topmost solutions or results. That's why I'm limiting it to 10. So from what we can see, or based on the year, the first match that resulted in the tie, which is 2020, other than that is recent match. Most recent was between the Royal Challengers and the Mumbai Indians, and the result ended in 0 because it was a tie. Definitely it's a tie, I mean it's ending in 0. And then since I'm limited to then the 10th data is the 10th column, sorry, yes, the 10th row with in accordance with this sentence, the 10th row provided the match between the Royal Challengers and the Delhi Daredevils, and also ended result not also ended 0. We should also go through this and make sure that our victory result is all time. There must not be any other thing that tie result, and that's as we go through you can see that there's no other victory result apart from the tie. So that's about our 9th question. And then the last question being our 10th question, we have to get the count of cities that have hosted an IPL match. So I selected city, and then I used the count aggregate. Then I'm assigning the result from this aggregation to the city count, as the city count will be a column. And I'm selecting this city from delivery because that's when we have the city column. I'm grouping by city and I order by city count. So if I run this, you can see that our city with the most count is Mumbai with 101. Then we have Kolkata with 77, Delhi with 74, and then the city with the least count, that's the least count, is the bottom 3 are Kimberley with 3, East London 3, and Bloemfontein 2. So these are the different cities that have hosted the Indian Premier League cricket match and the number of times the matches are held in their location. So that's that about the 10 queries that were given to run. Then there was also a part where we're supposed to analyze the data further in our own way, and I did some queries which I want us to go through. The first one is the top 10 dismissed players for 2020. So I will select player dismissed, year being 2020, dismissal kind, and I'm running this thing based on the result margin. So I'm selecting all this from the deliveries table. I'm going to join it with the matches table on the borrowing and primary key, where the player is not NA because we want the player names, where the year is 2020. We're grouping by match ID and order by result margin descending, limiting it to 15 because we want to save the first 15 rows. So I will run this. And when I run this, the first player based on the result margin is NA Agarwal. So, and the dismissal kind is bold. Then we have courts with DA1, bold with D, medical, court DA, court, then key the court, same thing, court, bold. And lastly, we have the 15th, sorry, this thing, in the 15th row, we have SP Narine bold and with the result margin of 37. So you can see the higher result margin very much has the match that had the higher result margin where someone had to be sent home. It's ended with the result margin of 97. So that's that. Then I wanted to see the top batsman Let me run this. Based on the number of runs and results matching. So I select batsman, I selected the batting team, I selected the year because I wanted to see the top 20 batsmen for 2020 from deliveries join on matches on foreign key and primary key where the match total run is greater than equal to 6 and the year is equal to 2020, and then group by match ID, order by total runs because that's what I want this batsman. I want to see top batsmen for 2020 based on their total runs, on the total runs. So I will run this. I will run this. And after running it, based on total run, the topmost batsman for 2020 is AJ Finch and he belongs to Royal Challengers. And then the 20th person being DA Warner and belongs to the Sunrisers Hyderabad. I say most of them had 666. Only the first person had total runs of 7. And the person with that had of 7. So that is that about top 20 batsmen. Then I wanted to see top 20 batsmen bowlers. So for yes, top 20 bowlers for 2020. So just bowler, the bowling team, the year, the overall number. I wanted to see their bowling based on the overall number and based on the overall number. So I will run this. And based on overall number, most of them having 66666. Okay, then having 66666. The first person on this is J Yadav, Rashid Khan, and S Nadim, all of them having the 66666 overall number. So these are top 20 Bowlsmen for 2020. I also wanted to see the top 10 venue counts. Top 10 venue counts. That's the top 10 venues that have hosted the Indian Premier League cricket matches. So I selected distinct venues, used the count aggregates, and then selected as venue count from, assign the column as venue count from deliveries, group by venue and order by venue count descending, limits to 10. So when we run this, you can see that the venue with the highest count is the Hidden Gardens, 74 counts, and the Sheikh Zayed Stadium is the 10th on the 10th row with 29 counts. We have Shah Kotla with 74. And Stadium has 65, Mount Kennedy has 73. So the top 5 venues, that hosted the IPL cricket matches are Eden Gardens, Feroz, Wankeda, M and the G Stadium. So that is that about that. Yes, that's that about that. There, yes, that's about that. So these are all some queries that I added that I did in addition to the 10 queries that I was given to do using the SQL database. I would like to thank you all for listening to my TED Talk. Thank you for listening. And I also like to thank Staff Tech Academy for giving me the opportunity to work with them in developing my analytics skills. Thank you.